Welcome to Journey to Joy Live, a podcast to promote wellness, resilience, and inspire joy. Be empowered to balance your mental, physical, financial, aspirational, and social health while providing mental health awareness and breaking down the stigma of mental illness in the Black community. I'm your host, Dr. If Joy, and I'm here to help you transform life's challenges into opportunities for joy. Let's begin the journey together. Hello, we are in episode 154, Joy on Your Plate. Why Eat Less, Move More is failing women. And here to discuss this topic is Dr. Lauren Powell. She's a primary care physician. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It is awesome to have you because the reason you are here is because I saw your post about your Nourish Woman workshop that is coming up. And you were talking about how it's going to be about the metabolic health for every season of life. And the quote in the title, Eat Less and Move More, was what you said. And that really caught my eye because I'm like, that's all what we say about being healthy. Just move more and eat less. But apparently, as we're getting into over 40s, even over 35, perimenopause, all the things, it's just not that simple. So
yeah, it's not really a strategy that people can take and translate into behavior. It's like, what does that even mean? So my goal is really for people to understand what their metabolic health is and all the things that factor into it and why it's really important that the goal be that we optimize it, not that we just like not have disease. Like, right, I don't want you to just focus on your blood pressure, your glucose and your, triglycerides and all that stuff when it's bad. But I want you to focus on it like every year when you see it kind of creep up a little bit, still technically in that like normal range. It's still like, that's a problem, right? It trending up is a problem. And so really trying to shift women, really everybody, but I see a lot of women in my practice and it's like a common thing that I feel like I'm having the same conversation. Like, listen, I'm seeing these things, I'm seeing these patterns and these trends. Like, how can we kind of put some emphasis and kind of look at our lifestyle and look at all the other things that feed into our metabolic health to really optimize things and have that be the goal and not the goal to be just to not have disease.
That's really awesome because once you understand your own physiology and metabolic rate and all those things, you can help craft like something personable for your patient or for yourself. It's the person doing it because it's not just this generic, let's just eat less and move more.
I think we would do it, right? I mean, like, if it was just that easy, we would all do that.
Well, there's still that discipline too, but I'm doing it and it doesn't quite help. I'm pre-diabetic, even though I'm doing all the things. So it's just like, oh, okay, there's something we're missing here. And you know what? I don't know if you follow Dr. Shomo Knows. So Dr. Anissa Shomo, she's in Cincinnati and her platform is Health.
I do.
Yeah. So her platform is Health is Love. And then she's got Dr. Shomo Knows. And most recently, she's been trending, telling her patients to stay a little fat for healthy. Because we just need to stay a little fat for being healthy. I mean, I don't know if that plays into this whole, like, it's not all about moving more and eating less, but I found that interesting too.
I think it's not even about like a size goal, it's just about like, how do you feel in your body? Like, how do you feel? Do you feel well? Do you feel like you have the energy to do the things that you desire to do, to spend the time the way you desire to spend it? And if you don't feel good in your body, then it doesn't matter what you weigh, like there's a problem. You should wake up, you should feel energetic, you should be able to spend time with your kids, you should be able to do the things that you want to do, that you desire your body to do. And if you feel like you can, if you wake up and you're exhausted, if you wake up and you feel like you don't have the energy, then there's a problem.
Yeah. And, we're on Journey to Joy Live, and I feel like the end goal is joy. And if our physical health is impacting that, that's why we're talking about this here, as far as, how to maintain our health so that we can be able to do all those things that we want to do in life, especially being there for our kids, even when they're small. So before we jump into the topic, tell us more about you. I see that you are also known as the Culinary Doctor.
Yeah. So I'm a family medicine physician. My journey basically started in my last year of residency. I'm from Michigan, so But doing my residency in Florida, it was a part of like my routine that I would like call my dad while I was driving home from call, and he would kind of keep me awake until I made it home. And one particular Saturday, I called him and I'm telling him about the patients I took care of and all the cases that I'd seen and all the craziness that had happened. And his speech became very slurred. And I recognized my father was like having a stroke on the phone. So I hung up the phone, I called my mom, so he got into the hospital. His cholesterol was so high, they couldn't even give a number. It just read high. His blood pressure was crazy, blood sugar crazy. And so it really shocked me because my patient wasn't like what we call like a neglectful patient, right? He was going to doctors every couple of months, taking a handful of pills in the morning. He was taking a handful of pills at night, but something bad still happened. And it really kind of clicked for me. Like, wow, this is happening to me too. Like I'm a resident and I'm taking care of patients in my clinic, but then I also admit them when they have DKA and when they have like, heart attack. Like I'm taking care of them in my clinic. I'm telling them to do stuff. And then I'm still admitting them to the hospital. So it just really clicked to me that if patients do the things their doctors ask them to do, but like something bad still happens, maybe it's something that's missing from the conversation. Yeah. And that's when it really became abundantly clear to me. Like my father lived a very stressful life. He's a business owner, just really, really working really hard, very stressful, like eating horribly, consuming a lot of alcohol. And that's why something bad still happened, despite him taking all these medications and doing all these things. But it was like, no one had really talked to him about it. And it's like, we know as doctors how important, food and lifestyle and all these things are, but sometimes it's like, where's that conversation happening? Because it's like not happening in those 15-minute visits that we have with our patients. So it's like,
yeah,
where and how do we talk to our patients about that? So it really shifted things for me. So I did some training in culinary medicine because I was like, I don't even feel like I have the tools to like talk to my patients in my family, my community, like, right? Eat less, move more. Like, but what does that mean? Like, how do I make it so simple for them that they can do it, that they can tell their neighbor, but like you understand it so much that you can do it and you can share it with other people. And so that's kind of what my journey has been. And my message has been like very similar. It's been the same about teaching people how to just make their own food, make it delicious, make it healthy, make it easy.
That's good.
And I've just packaged it in different ways throughout the years, whether that's media and writing. I've done some social media stuff, TV. And then like right now, my biggest thing is I've built a mobile wellness unit.
Nice.
And so it's something I've been working on since really the end of 2025. I was granted a generous donation and that really helped me finish it. So it's, and we're having
actually pay that back either.
No, we don't, which is like, this is how I know it's like literally from the Lord, because it's like he gave me this idea, but like it was like, well, how? Like there's just like no like way. And then somebody learned about me from someone else, and they're like, yes, you like
how it happens.
6-figure check, and I was just like, well, I have to do it. Like I have to. There's like no, like the Lord is like what now? Like I gave you idea. I'm giving you the resources. Like build it and get it done. So that's what I've done. And so we launch actually June 28th. We're having a big launch. And then we've done some small events. So basically it's a huge trailer. One side is a clinic where we do some metabolic health screening. So we do blood pressures, waist circumference, blood pressure. And then we have some ability to do some other things like fasting glucose, A1Cs, and lipid panels. And then when you go to the other side, it's a teaching kitchen. So it opens up. So it's like my hope is that we connect everything and we're not learning about these things in fragments, which makes it hard to like connect.
Yeah.
So you have this metabolic health screening. I built an app so people can put their data in the app and get feedback. Awesome. Okay, like this is high, this is low, this is this. And then so you got this data, now come and let me teach you in terms of food and lifestyle and all these other things, like how do we improve these numbers? And so we're mobile. And so my goal is that we go everywhere. We go where there's food deserts. We go where there's lack of resources, and we can really meet people where they work, worship, and play. Just do health a little bit different. Like we know where to go when we're sick. We know where to go when we don't feel well, but like, where are we supposed to go when we just want to learn how to be healthy and be well? And that's kind of like what I want to do in healthcare.
That's really awesome. And really, the word I'm thinking about throughout while you're talking is like sustainability. You know, we really need to create something that's a
Mhm.
lifestyle. And a lot of times we think about, oh, I'll just diet and the keto diet and all these diets, right? They're not sustainable. And so something that's like healthy but tastes good, easy to cook, it prevents you from going out and spending money and
Oh my
processed food
goodness.
and GMOs and all those things. So that's really awesome, and educating them so that they can continue to do it for themselves. That's fabulous.
Yeah,
Love
because
it.
that's the goal, right? Like we did an event on May 2nd, and
Mhm,
we basically it was with an organization called Our House that provides um, resources for women and families that are experiencing homelessness. And
mhm.
so we did an event for them. And so it's like now, if somebody's experiencing homelessness, they have a lot of barriers when it comes to eating well, right? You have a
Mhm,
lot of
mhm.
barriers. And so the goal is not to just inspire people and they eat a good meal and then they go. No,
That's
like
it, yeah.
how do I how do I equip you so that you can go out and have this? And so I shopped at Walmart. I went where like I know what people have access to,
Mhm,
and I
that's
showed them
true.
how to make a meal for $2 a serving. And they
Ooh.
were there with their kids got to eat it, and like I made sure it was something that wasn't too weird that like your kids, so the goal is to give people real tools, like real
Mhm.
things that they can take and use and incorporate and really move their health forward.
That's dope. That's dope. And it's really all about that, the education and people getting out there and learning that information. And like you mentioned earlier, or maybe I read in your bio, food is medicine. And I've been saying that lately too. It's like you feel good when you are eating healthier. And it's very important. Now, what do you think about the vegan lifestyle versus just simply eating healthy?
I don't push for one particular type of eating. I think it should be sustainable. I think that you have to remember that just because something is labeled a certain way doesn't make it automatically healthy because I have
Oreos
patients.
are vegan.
Oreos are vegan. Marshmallows are vegan. Like there's a lot of things that are Twinkies are vegan. Um,
Mhm.
I say like eat Jesus food, like eat real food, eat food that your great grandmother would recognize. That's what I
Simple.
want because when it's processed, because there's processed vegan food that I would rather you eat a grass-fed burger where you know what it like you can look at it and oh, it's this is the ingredients. And
Yeah.
so no matter what kind of diet you choose, I'm wanting you to eat food that you can recognize, that you know what it is, that you can make it, that you it's not doesn't require a science experiment to create. Like you can make it if you have these ingredients. And so I'm always about eating real food, eating in a way that's sustainable. Again, like you
Mhm.
mentioned, the keto diet, there's some diets out there that are really good and they will work really, really well. But is it sustainable for your life? Like, is this something that you can consistently
Keep
do?
doing.
And even, I mean, I had a patient yesterday who his lipids were all over the place. And I said, dude, what did you do? Like, what happened? Everything had been fine. And he was like, oh, doc, I did the carnivore diet for 7 months. And I was like, oh, okay, well, you
Oh,
didn't tell me that. And he's like, oh, like I didn't know. And I was like, because there's a way to do it. There's
the
different
right
ways to do
way.
that. And I would have
Yeah.
talked you through how to do it in a way so that this doesn't happen. So, yeah, I don't advocate for a particular diet. I say eat real food, eat plants, eat food that your grandma would know, eat things that Jesus made. Jesus made fish and chicken and vegetables. He didn't make Twinkies and mayonnaise and these other things, right? He
I
made
love
food
it.
that is real. Um, Look at your ingredients. I really want people to get in the habit of cooking their food. Just like you said, it's like how you control what's in it. That's how you make sure there's not just like there's just stuff added in our food that it's like, why is that even in there? Like, why did they have to put this in my food? Why did they have to put
Engineered
this?
stuff, like these chemicals, like what is that? And we
Why?
wonder why there's more ADHD.
All the things. I mean, I was just trying to pick cereal for my kid the other day. He never had cereal, but I was like, this would be a nice breakfast to have one day instead of me having to like cook a hot breakfast every morning. And so that, but I'm like looking at the ingredients and it's like, you find a couple of ones that are like, okay. And it's like, okay, this is like $7 for this like box of cereal. But,
That's the problem. It's too
it's
expensive.
just, it's crazy, but if we can get into the habit of cooking, it doesn't have to be extravagant. We don't need to make a Thanksgiving dinner on a Tuesday. Like we can just really make simple, easy meals, try to get everybody in the house involved and really redefining like the purpose of food. Like the purpose of food, I know we like use it to
Yeah.
celebrate, we use it to like gather and come together, but really the
Mhm.
purpose of food is to fuel your body.
Mhm.
So like I tell my husband, everything doesn't have to taste like, oh, this was just like the most delightful and like decadent. And,
That's
like that's
true.
what he wants every meal. And I said,
That's so
listen,
true.
we're eating a protein and two veggies, like, and it's good and it's sustainable. And no, it's not mashed potatoes with gravy. Like, it's not that like warm, but it's serving
Mhm.
its purpose. It's Tuesday. We went to work. Like, we
Just
just want
fill
to
your
put
body and keep it
good
going.
fuel in our bodies.
Because it's like when you're putting gas in the car, it's not like you keep it going and you overflow it and the car is like over, you give it just enough what it needs so you can
That's
go A to
it.
B. So we need to do that ourselves. And my mom, sorry, mom, because she's like the only one that watches every episode. But when we go out, like for something else, like a doctor's appointment or something, she says, oh, can you think of something so we can get something delicious to eat? I really want something delicious to eat. That's what she talks about all the time. So it's just like that's how we are whenever we want to get together. Okay, what you want to eat? It's always about food, and I'm a foodie and I love food, so I get it.
I get it too. I love food. I really do. I think I've just seen when it's just like the emphasis is put in the wrong way. And I'm just like,
Mm,
it's just not worth it. Like, it's not
yeah,
worth it. I think health, we had Bible study on Saturday and we said, what's the one thing that like we take for granted a lot and people, and like the number one thing is our health.
yeah.
We take our health for granted until we don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord, I mean, I'm sure you've talked to patients too who like are sick and they're like, their lives are completely turned upside down and inside out. And not just their lives, but the lives of the people that are connected to them. When my dad was sick, my goodness, that didn't just affect his life. That affected my mom, me,
Yes.
my brother. We were in different states. I was recently married. I mean, so many things.
Mm,
Like, your health is just so valuable. And your body is so valuable. We just have to do a really good job of just honoring it and respecting it. And we can do things and kind
yeah,
of get away with it sometimes for a while. Like my dad, like eating bad and
catches
consuming a lot.
up.
Like, he did that for a large part of his life. But I can guarantee you, for the most part, it catches up with you at some point.
For
You
sure.
don't know when. Some people have a smaller window before it catches up with them. Some people have a bigger window, but
Yeah.
you cannot treat your body that way and then think like, oh, I'm just going to be able to live this like, high quality life
Mhm.
and do all these things and have lots of, like, it doesn't work that way.
Yes, for sure. So we talked about sustainability and having this be a lifestyle, reframing our mind behind what food is. It is fuel for our bodies. Let's talk about intermittent fasting, missing
Mhm.
breakfast. What are your thoughts on that health
I
wise?
think it really depends on the individual. So like, I
Hmm.
think for men, it's more because their hormones are just like more consistent.
Yeah,
They're not going in cycles and things like that. I think for some men, intermittent fasting works really, really good. Like, if, like with my
my
husband,
husband, it definitely does.
yeah, my husband too. I mean, he just drops
Mm,
weight if he eats in a window. He doesn't even change what they eat. But I think
so
theirs is good
annoying.
because their hormones are just so steady versus ours
Yeah.
that are cyclical. If I have any
Hmm.
women with like autoimmune stuff, I usually don't
Mm,
want them doing it because sometimes it can be a stressor to the body.
okay.
Um, so I just think it depends on the person. It's not something I use, but I think we do have to think about like just how much we're eating, because sometimes you don't even realize like you're literally eating like 13 hours out of the day. And intermittent or fasting or not, like sometimes you just don't need to eat for the
That
entire time
much.
that you're awake. It's just like a lot of time in
Yes,
the
because they used
day.
to
So
say like 3 meals and then 3 snacks, and that's like 6 times a day. So is that not the thing anymore?
I think it depends on what you're eating. Like for
Yeah.
me, I do well to have like two good meals. So I'll have like, I usually will
Mhm.
just do like some kind of protein shake or something in the morning. And
Okay.
then I'll do a nice lunch. And then dinner for me is always like a raw meal. And that works really, really good for my body. Like when I'm
Mm.
consistently doing that, I feel really good. If I get hungry again after dinner, I always eat fruit. Like I don't deny myself anything. I'll eat fruit. I'll
That's
eat
good.
whatever it is that, and I try to only keep good stuff in the house. So whatever I grab is fine, whatever I want to have at night. So, and that
Yeah.
works really, really well for me.
That's really good. You don't deny yourself anything. And if you're eating the right way, the hunger is sending you the correct message. Because a lot of times when we're overloading the carbs and the sweets, we still feel hungry because our body is like
Yeah.
craving it more because of the way we're eating. So that's really key to know. Once you're eating healthy and putting the right things in your body, it's like, I feel hungry. I'm going to eat. And that's okay. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. Honor it.
what raw foods do you eat at night?
So I make a salad. All my friends know, like, salad is my favorite food. I don't make any boring salads. All my
Me
salads are like
neither.
beautiful and exciting. So I just make a gorgeous salad with, and it may be a mixture of warm and cold. I'll have I may saute a couple of veggies on top. I make my own salad dressing. I always make sure I have some kind of protein with it, either beans or if I want to do some fish or whatever kind of, because my husband and my child, they eat full dinner. So whatever protein they have, I may put some of that with my
Sure.
salad. But that's mainly how I try to stick to dinner. I try to like shift my carbs. I try to do
Earlier.
minimal carbs, but I shift it kind of earlier in the day. So if I have it, it's going to be with either breakfast or lunch, and not with my dinner.
Yeah, and that's what they say. If you're gonna skip a meal or be light on the meal, let it be dinner. I was in Bolivia, and apparently they got it right because they closed down all
Mm,
their restaurants. There's no restaurants open for dinner. Like I was just like, what am I
wow.
gonna eat? Like the goal there is to not eat late so that you are able to digest and go right to bed. So that's nice the way you do it. But right now, what I do is skip breakfast and I eat lunch and dinner. So just trying to shift that backwards the other way probably would be better for me. But
But is this harder to do with like our lives? Our lives, because like dinner's a time where like everybody's kind of eating, so it's like you kind of want to be there and eating. So it's kind
yeah.
of, I think culturally for us, it kind of works at best
And
that way.
also I found as a mom of three, 5, and 14, it's kind of like if I'm fasting, it's easier because I can just focus on their food and focus on cooking for them. But when I'm trying to cook for myself and them, it's like too
It
much
is a
going
lot.
on because unfortunately, and it's my fault, it's not their fault, but unfortunately, it's like I hold a restaurant, so they got their different orders. I cook this different thing. Like the 5-year-old eats a pancake, and the 14-year-old have some rice and beans and chicken, and the 3-year-old has something. So I was just like,
I
I know
want
I
to
need
be
to
at
be.
your house.
I know, like I know I need to be more consistent, but it's like I'm cooking different things.
Yeah, I think
So
we
it
all
makes
fall
it
into
easy.
that trap.
Yeah,
We
we
just want everyone to be
do.
happy and eat their food and enjoy their food.
Yeah, especially when like the 5-year-old just does not eat rice and beans. He told the doctor, "Yeah, I eat vegetables. I eat bacon."
Told on himself right there.
Oh, okay. The one time you had bacon. Oh my goodness. So yeah, let's get into this you call it a summit or workshop?
Yeah, I didn't really know what to call it because I know I needed to make it more than one day because I've done like a ton of virtual webinars and things, and I never get to everything. And what I've also noticed, and I don't know if you notice this too when you're talking with people have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
People have a lot of questions, and it's like they cannot wait to get into a room where they get access to someone and they just want to ask all the burning questions they've been thinking. Maybe they've asked their doctor and it didn't resonate with them. So making sure I also have time set aside so that people can ask questions and I can try to point them in a good direction. But yeah, so three
That's awesome.
parts, 3 Thursdays in July.
Mhm.
And so we're going to go deep. I'm going to help them understand what their metabolic health consists of. I want
Mhm.
people to understand their numbers. Again, because like you have to be the boss of your own health. Your doctor may or may not say anything if your numbers are trending up, if they're still normal, but you should know that. You should know that your blood pressure normally runs 110/70. So if it's 130/80, even though that's
Yeah.
technically normal, that's not your normal. So what's going on here?
Yeah.
But if you don't understand your own numbers and you're not like
Mhm.
keeping a mental note of them or writing them down somewhere, nobody's going to know until we're like, oh, okay, now you have high blood pressure. It's like, what? When did that happen? Which is what happens to me all the time when I see patients. They come to me and I'm like, oh, your blood pressure's high. What? When did that happen?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know when it happened. You tell me, when did it happen? When did you start
Keep
noticing your blood
track.
pressure increase? And I don't know. Nobody ever said
They
anything.
don't
Well,
take it.
this is what happens. So I want people to understand their numbers and all the numbers that go into their metabolic health. So we'll kind of go through that. Then the next session will really go into like food and lifestyle stuff and things that we can do to overall improve our metabolic health. I love metabolic health so much because you can really um, see how your lifestyle affects it. Like it's
Yeah.
great, right? Like you can check your labs, do stuff, and recheck your labs in 4 months, and you'll see changes if you're
Mhm.
really making changes consistently. So letting people helping them understand about foods we say yes to, things we say no to, lifestyle stuff, just other things that go into overall improving our metabolic health. And then the third session, which is usually folks' favorite, we have an interactive cooking class. So
Oh,
the week
nice.
before, they'll get the grocery list, so they get their groceries. Because sometimes people are a little nervous to try new recipes just like by themselves. And so this is like a nice supportive environment. We'll cook together. I'll go through it with you. We'll be cooking. You just do exactly as I'm telling you and showing you to do. And we'll make a delicious, metabolically healthy meal that you, your family will love. So we'll do that. And then we'll allow time for Q&A.
That's super awesome. So it's virtual. It's in person.
No, it's virtual. So
it is virtual. Oh, nice.
It's virtual. So you just register. It's all via Zoom. You'll get a copy of the recording. So if you want to go back and reference stuff, you can do that. When you register, you'll get our digital workbook. I've created like a huge 150-page workbook that is just, I call it my metabolic health playbook, because it is really like, it is like the playbook into like how to be healthy. Like if you can focus on the things that are in this book, you will be healthier. Like it just teaches you how to be healthy. And then I have like a ton, maybe like 25 or 30 recipes that I like, foods that I cook for myself and my family at the end, so that people also have some resources there too.
That's really cool. And so you mentioned meals that are metabolically healthy. So I wanted to ask you about, because a patient of mine said that she was doing the military diet. I had never heard about it, but apparently it tells you exactly what to eat. And then I don't know if you fast the next day. It's like every other day you eat this big meal, but the days in between, it's like lighter or fasting, one of the two. But she described the meal to include vanilla ice cream and like mashed potatoes. It had like certain things that if you were dieting, you probably wouldn't eat. And she was just saying like maybe just those specific pairs had something to do with changing or resetting the metabolic rate. Just look on your face. It sounds like maybe you hadn't heard of it either.
I've never heard of that. But what I do know is some of these diets, even with that, like you're overall, if that's all you're consuming and then you're not consuming stuff the next day, you're still restricting calories, right? It's like people who eat Burger King once a day, like you're still lose weight because overall you're restricting the amount of calories you normally were eating. So I don't know if that diet is so much about like the macronutrient component as it is about overall in a week, have you decreased the amount of calories that you normally consume in a week?
Yeah.
And then again, with that kind of thing, how sustainable is that? I don't know about eating ice cream and mashed potatoes every other day.
Yeah. I don't know. Those are the things that stood out to me, but I'm pretty sure it was balanced. But the fact that she's like, yeah, I have to eat the ice cream. Like it just, something happens if I don't eat it. Not her, but it's just a part of the diet. Like they say, like eat this exact thing.
That's interesting.
What is it? But I have noticed that sometimes when I might cheat on a meal and I may have had some ice cream and also like Chipotle or something like that. And then I'm like, oh, like the weight didn't change like I thought it would. It actually went down. So that actually made me wonder, is there just some magic about eating certain things together?
I also think, and I tell my patients, it's not about what you do on a splurge. It's not about what you do the minority of the time. It's about what you do the majority of the time.
Yeah.
The majority of the time, if you're eating well, sometimes patients go, I don't want to get my labs. I ate whatever 2 weeks ago. That's okay. If you did something 2 weeks ago, that's fine. Did you do it every day for 2 weeks? Because that would be something different. But
yes, Doc, I had baklava every day I was in Greece. That's me.
Oh my goodness. I love baklava. That's my favorite dessert, actually. That's my favorite dessert. But it's about what we do in the majority of the time, not like the splurges, unless you're splurging all the time. But again, it's about what you're doing on a regular basis.
I don't know if it's considered a splurge. You do it all the time, but yeah. Okay. Well, what's the bottom line here? So obviously, we got to leave a lot to be desired. We want people to register for your summit, but what is something you can share today about this whole myth about just move more and just eat less? That's all. But apparently that's not the case.
Yeah, because it's about, number one, how we're moving and the type of movement that we're doing. Oftentimes it has to change when we're in different ages and stages of life. And then it's not always about eating less. It's about the quality of what you're eating. So you can eat less of bad things, or which may not serve your body very well, or you can eat more of certain types of food and that will serve your body really, really well. So I always like to talk about fiber, protein, and healthy fats. So it's about eating a good amount of those and a certain amount depending on your weight and things like that. And that's what's really going to fuel your body and fuel your metabolism and help you get to a place that you feel really, really good.
I love that. And if you literally are changing your mindset around food to be fuel for your body, I need fiber, I need healthy fats, I need protein, then you look for those things rather than, oh my God, I really want a Twinkie. And this is like 2,000 calories and added 60 grams added sugar or something like that. So I love that. And with my 80% vegan journey the last few months, it really has felt like that. Like, okay, let me make sure I get the fiber. Let me make sure I get the protein. And really, when you try to aim for vegan, you really have to chase that protein a lot, to the point where I'm probably going to add back chicken, because I did see a reel where it showed you the how much protein you really have to eat versus in vegan versus the amount of protein if you just eat some chicken. It was like a small amount versus
Yeah, you have to
all
be,
these chickpeas. Yeah.
and not everyone can do vegan because unless you're being willing to be that intentional and take time to prepare that, because you there's no fast food place that you can like drive through the drive-through and get a bunch of something that, versus like going somewhere and you're like, oh, and get grilled chicken from Chick-fil-A, like you have to really be intentional and be willing to, I mean, I've seen people do it really, really well, but they work hard. They're intentional about it. They plan, they do all that stuff. And so sometimes people just don't have the time to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's all about flavor and taste. I made this homemade, it's basically taco meat with mushrooms, walnuts, and cauliflower, and all these types of seasoning. It was amazing. And it was easy to make. So, but I don't know how much protein quality is in it. That's the problem. So really, instead of these name brand diets, we really need to just focus on, are we getting our healthy fats, protein, and fiber in? And that's it. End of the day.
That's it. Keep it simple.
Well, sounds good. Well, Dr. Powell, I ask all of my guests what their personal journey to joy has been like. How has yours been?
I have been really focusing on trying to be more present, because I'm one of those people that's always thinking about the next thing, and then you miss out on moments of joy. Like you think about it like, oh man, that was like such a night, but I wasn't even really there. Like I wasn't there and I missed it, And so I think it's someone who just is always doing the most all the time. And just trying to force myself to, wherever I am, be there.
Be there. And I think the way to do that is putting the phone down. I've noticed that on trips or any experience that I'm doing, I'm like, I just need to put the phone down, because I know I'm not present if I'm looking at the phone, even if I'm taking a picture and videotaping it and then looking, okay, how does this look? Look at that later, post later, So I really feel you on that. Being present.
Being present. Because there's joy in like such small things, like there's joy in such small things, but you can miss it if you're not there. And I like, my toddler teaches me that a lot, because he's just like, everything is great. He'll just be like, Mommy, I love your hair, or I really like your face. And I'm like, yeah, it's like, just experience life and just the moment and just enjoy it. Like, I love your cup. And it's like, yeah, this is a great cup. This is great coffee. Like, there is joy in this moment, and I'm missing it because I'm thinking about, okay, after I drop him off, I got to go send those 4 emails and I have to go type that, and I'm thinking about, and I'm not even here because I'm thinking about the next thing. And guess what? When I'm doing that next thing, I'm thinking about the thing after that. So even when I get to the next thing, I'm not even in there. I'm already in the next thing.
Sounds like the mind of a wife, mom, boss to me. Yes, we just need to stop and pause and just enjoy the simple things in life. Like you said, go back to Jesus. I like that, because life was simple back then.
Yes, it was. It was.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Powell, for being on the show. So people can find you at Dr. Lauren Powell on social media platforms, and your website is drlaurenpowell.com. What people find on this website?
Oh, my website has like all the things. So join my newsletter. I send it's like just once a month a newsletter. I send like my favorite recipe that I'm cooking a lot recently. I send whatever I'm focusing on with my health that month. And just a little bit of inspiration. It's like a 3 to 5 minute read, just to really be of service to people. So go to my website and you can join my newsletter and get that once a month. My seasonings are on my website. I make a seasoning called the Doctor seasoning, which me and my mom created as a seasoning because I really want my patients to cook. My patients started cooking, but then they were putting naughty things on their food. So I created a seasoning that's called literally the everything seasoning because it goes on everything. So my kid likes it. I literally put on everything. My protein, I make my salad dressings with it. I make my sauces with it. I marinate with it. It just goes on everything. So it's called the Dr. Seasoning, Everything Seasoning. That's on my website. I have a couple of books that are on my website. If you want to learn about the mobile wellness unit, that's on my website. If you want to book it for a corporate event, that's there. I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, so that's your main website. And we talked about the 3-part workshop that is virtual. And how much is it?
Right now it's discounted to $147, which is like a steal because the amount of information that you're going to get with this, it's a steal. So
it's a sale. Get it now. It's discounted for sure. And you can go do that at metabolichealthwithdrlauren.com.
Right there.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lauren. Appreciate you. This has been an Enjoy Life production. If you're in a crisis, don't hesitate. Call, text, or chat 988 for immediate support. Please note, this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional treatment. If you're looking for therapy or medication management through Enjoy Life, visit www.drenjoylife.com to request a consultation. I'm licensed in 13 states. I accept Aetna in Georgia, Florida, and Virginia. Be sure to grab your copy of the Enjoy Note to help you on your wellness journey. Also check out Inspire Joy for the wife, mom, boss to help you balance it all without losing yourself. Better yet, get the full Joy bundle for just $45. Remember, Journey to Joy Live is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, may you continue to transform stress into joy.